Hi, my name's Arthur, and today we're going to be reading and roasting some of my favorite transphobic YouTube comments. So, having a comment section has been my favorite part of my YouTube channel experience. I started this channel because I wanted to connect with, my people, and it's been so amazing to realize that not only have I connected with you guys, but I've actually impacted you, and hearing your stories, what my videos have meant to you, and even just your random musings from your life, it just really touches me. They make my day, and I wish I could respond to all of them, but I certainly read all of them, and I certainly appreciate them all. So, 99% of my comments are just total gems. Amazing. I love you all. Then there's that 1% that are pretty funny, and they're the kind of comments that I know that every trans YouTube channel gets. And I know that when I was starting this channel, I was a little worried that, would I be hurt, would I be affected by the kind of mean hate comments? The answer is, not at all. There have been maybe one, maybe two comments that made me feel bad for 30 seconds. And that's it. I can't even really remember them because that's how little they've infected me. So that's not to say that I am immune to criticism or that I'm super thick-skinned. You can hurt me. You can for sure hurt me. But you guys do not know enough about me to hurt me. You want to know how you hurt me? Well, the way you hurt me is we are, say, at a gathering of friends, we're out eating dinner for an hour or two, then after dinner you make an offhanded comment to me that you felt like I was a little too loud. Oh man, I'm hurt. My evening is ruined. But that's not gonna happen in the comment section, you know? The kind of comments you guys, it just is not gonna work. And so I think the thing that has really struck me when I've been collecting these comments is how obvious it is that these transphobes are trying to hurt me by just taking total stabs in the dark about what my insecurities are. And they're stabs in the dark that might be correct for some people, and maybe are correct actually for most trans people, but they're saying these things with literally no information, and hoping something will land. And so, I guess the general takeaway is if there are people in your life who are transphobic, they might hurt you, but not because they're right, just because they're saying stuff. So, okay, so I'm gonna get started. First set of these comments I found basically amount to saying that I'm not a man. So, example. I'm reading them off my laptop, so that's why I'm looking down. Arthur, you've still a woman. You have every mannerism of a female. And the other one's more fun. You are a girl. Yeah, so I'm not, and these things do not affect me at all. It is so obvious to me that I function in society as male. It's just obvious. I meet people for the first time, and they read me as male. People use he when referring to me. I go to the men's bathrooms. I have lots of friends who are male. I hang out in all male spaces. I fit in with guys. I interact with the cashiers and they call me bro. I meet people, and after getting to know them for a few days, sometimes I might say that I'm trans, and they'll say, oh my god, I had no idea. And I will have friends who know that I'm trans, who've always known that I'm trans, and then I will say something like, oh, blah, 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 back when, when I went on birth control, and they will be like, what? I can't even imagine the thought of you ever being pregnant. That's so crazy to me. It's because people just consider me as male. They do. You can claim they don't, but they do. And I know that. Okay, some other comments? I was so confused. You act very feminine, but look like a guy. Or another one, which I don't think is transphobic, but nevertheless funny to me, says, usually a lot of trans men have a tendency to be super feminine in how they speak and move. However, you don't, which is good for a change. You are very neutral. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't really take a stand on whether am I feminine or masculine. I used to think about it all the time. Yeah, I think I come across as gay because I am gay, and I have some feminine mannerisms because, yeah, I grew up as a girl for a long time, so it's not like every habit drops immediately. And also, I hang out with a lot of gay guys who have a lot of effeminate gestures about them, and so these things just kind of stuck. I mean, on the other hand, I think maybe by queer standards I'm kind of masculine. I was saying to my partner something about, something about me being feminine, and he was like, wait, no, you're masculine. And I was like, what? And then he was like, that button down. And I was like, what? No, a floral button down is only masculine in a queer space. Straight people do not read a floral button down as masculine. But yeah, I don't know. Am I masculine? Am I feminine? I'm just me, whatever. Okay, someone says, your hair is already thinning because of the male hormones. Hope you like becoming bald. So that comment was left on a video that I filmed a year and a half ago. And you might be able to tell that I'm doing fine. And yeah, some trans guys go bald. They do. And it's fine if you are, but that person has no knowledge about my hair. They don't at all. My hair's fine right now. And maybe I'll go bald, and if I do, I hope I like it. But I'm not. So yeah, like, some trans people don't pass. And sometimes you can't tell that from a video, right? Like, there are people that look like I do and sound like I do, and do have trouble passing. These sort of comments, for some people, they might stick, they might hurt, right? Because like, if someone was commenting this and I was going down to the corner store and people were calling me ma'am, then yeah, it might feel really shitty to see someone say that I'm a girl. So like, sure, there's a world in which this hurts me, but it's just not my world. And so if someone's commenting this kind of stuff, you know, on your social media, they have no reason to know this. They don't know anything. I think most of the hate comments I've gotten have been about the fact that I identify as a gay trans man. And so, I don't know, if I was a straight trans man, maybe they would be commenting and saying I'm a lesbian. I think maybe the hate is just that trans people have sexual identities and that trans people are sexually desirable and that people will want us and want to date us, and that just blows transphobes' minds. So like, they come on to gay trans male videos and say that we're straight women, and they come on to straight trans guys videos and say that they're lesbians, whatever. The reality is, it's just not true. Comment says, straight woman can never be a gay man. Another person says, so it is all about sex? So you're heterosexual? This is the most disgusting thing I can think of. A straight woman, yes, I don't believe you were bi, transitioning in order to become a gay man, absolute disgrace. So like, I think that these kinds of hate comments, I don't want to say they're good, but like, yeah, they really might hurt the average trans person. Because the reality is, I'm in my mid-20s. It's this kind of weird time to be in your mid-20s because there are some people who are getting married, having kids, and then there are some of us who have never been in a relationship ever, who are just in like existential dread and like, am I gonna end up alone? And everywhere in between, right? Mid-20s is chaos. And that is a world that we exist in, whether we're trans, whether we're cis. It's hard no matter what. And so, if you tell the average person, like, you're unlovable and no one will want to date you, that's gonna hurt if you're in your mid-20s. So, especially hurts if you're trans, right? Because that's a real fear a lot of people have, is like, how am I gonna date? Who will want me? Everyone has told me that, like, my trans body is disgusting. So yeah, that's gonna hurt some gay trans guys to be told that they're straight women. But, like, they don't know shit. They don't know shit. I'm just not a straight woman, and gay men are just interested in me. It's just the fact of the world. I go on Grindr, and if I open up the app a few times during the day, I will get on the order of messages in a day. Are they all chasers? Are they all straight guys that accidentally logged onto Grindr? I don't think so. And I will hook up with guys, and I will talk with them sometimes about their sexuality, right? Because it's a fun thing to talk about. And I am not in the business of proving that every guy I've slept with, that there aren't any bisexuals, every one of them is a pure gold star gay, and I'm only valid, right? Bisexuals are great. I've hooked up with bisexuals. I love bisexuals. I wouldn't mind if every single person I've ever hooked up with was bi. Who cares? They want me, I want them, they're hot, whatever, it's fine. The reality is, many of them are not bisexual, and the idea that, like, they are bi just because they've hooked up with me is stupid. and again, you can call them that, but like, I will talk with these guys, and they will tell me that they have hooked up with on the order of dozens to hundreds of cis guys before me, that they have never slept with a woman in their life, and that I am the first trans guy they've ever been with, maybe the second, and that they identify as gay. I don't know, man. You want to call that person a bisexual, someone who does not identify as bisexual, who has hooked up with 100 cis guys before me, and who happens to have found me cute? It's just not true. It's just wrong. And at the point where, like, you think that you, as some random stranger on the internet, get to decide the sexuality of someone that some guy you're watching on YouTube is sleeping with, it's just like, you don't know anything. You have no idea about anything at all. Okay, so here is a much longer comment on the matter. It says, gay men have very concretely imagined sexual desires. Sex and love can be great together, but also sex can just be itself with most gay men. Though gay men do romantic things, it is usually after sexual relations are established. I remember a friend of mine who had just come out and bought a dozen roses to a guy he had a crush on at the university we were going to. I think the gay people on the campus laughed for a whole month. We didn't judge him. We knew he was still thinking like a straight person. When the hopes of trans men that gay men will somehow be amenable to sexual relationships because of love, I am reminded of the East Asian BL movies where two straight guys fall into love and have sexual relations after 10 or 12 chapters. The audience for these novels are women. For gay men, it is a source of amusement as well as others. Also, gay men have innumerable choices among other gay men, so there really is no incentive to have sex with a trans man. Why date a trans man when you can choose any number of gay men at the club, on apps, or in the park, or at social functions? You aren't going to be dealing with any challenges to your identity. Also, the variety of sexual options that is the physical ways we are able to have sex among gay men is rather extensive. There really isn't a need to try something new. So, this comment was left in response to someone else who was asking this guy, like, oh, like, I'm happy you're speaking the truth, will any gay man want me? And so this comment, like, actually did resonate with this person, and I think did affect this person who was like, okay, yeah, I've listened to you, and clearly no gay man will ever want me. This is just wrong. It's so silly, so I'm gonna go through it. And so, okay, first of all, myself included, many of the trans gay guys I know have casual sex. We have casual sex all the time. You don't need to. You know, if you're a queer trans guy and you're like, oh my god, like, I want to take it slow, I want to have a nice romance, and I want to have my dozen roses, you'll be fine. I know gay guys, I know cis gay guys who do want the dozen roses, right? Like, but I know a lot of cis gay guys and trans gay guys who like to go on Grindr, hook up with someone whose name they don't know, and then go on with their evening. Trans guys do that too. I have had it happen that people who I have first had sexual relationships with have then fallen in love with me. So with the latter point of like, they fall in love and then they're willing to put up with your disgusting trans body. I've found it the flip. They were interested in my hot Arthur body, and then they listened to my hot Arthur mind, and then they were like, I like you. And that happens too. Yeah, and then the last one is like hilarious. Okay, one, gay trans guys are at the club on apps in the I mean, I haven't hooked up with anyone in the park, but I guess we're at the park too, or we're at social functions. We are at all of those places, and we are options there too. And a lot of the time, you might not know until one of us tells you that we're trans. We're just there, because we're at the club, because it's fun to be at the club. And then the idea that, like, okay, you aren't going to be dealing with any challenges to your identity. Yeah, if you tell people that they're not gay if they hook up with a trans guy, you are making challenges to their identity. That's all just a function of society, right? Like, if we say that someone who has sex with men and only really wants to be hooking up with, you know, whatever, with guys, is gay, then a trans gay guy hooking up with him doesn't change anything. If we say that you need to want penis and that's it, and it's only cis gay men, and if you deter from that, you're actually straight, yeah, then that's gonna create an identity problem. That's just a product of, like, transphobia in society. There is no reason that hooking up with me is gonna cause an identity problem. And I have hooked up with plenty of gay guys who have never hooked up with a trans guy before and who proceed to have zero identity problems. And they will just tell me, oh yeah, I just thought you were cute, and I was like, why not? It's, I mean, same as, like, literally any other person on these apps, right? It's just not that deep. And then they say, also, the variety of sexual options, blah blah blah, gay men is extensive, why would we try something new? Yeah, for a lot of the people I hook up with, we are not trying anything new at all, and I am perfectly able to have sex in the way that many cis gay guys do. And that's good and fun, and I've talked about that in another video, and yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so yeah, but also, sometimes people do want to try things new, and I have had, again, several cis gay guys that have been like, oh my god, I really would love to try PIV, it would be so hot and fun to try something new, and especially with some of these more promiscuous ones, I think that there's something about being able to be a novel kind of guy for someone who's hooked up with many, many, many kinds of guys before that is, like, hot and fun, and I don't know, many of the gay men I know quite enjoy novelty, so basically, either hooking up with me is an entirely boring, very non-novel experience, or it can be novel, and really, all of the above is fine. Okay. Just a delusional joke. Gay is same-sex attracted for most gay men. Fact, penises matter. Vaginas ain't for gay men. Bisexuals are your dating pool. Wearing gay face is appropriation. Hilarious. I know many gay men who actually are not super fond of penises. And that actually was very surprising to me. I am a gay guy who, I like, don't have any very strong genital preferences, but I think penises are great. I do. And so it's been very funny to, like, have talked with several gay men who are like, I could care less, and I will engage with them just because that makes my partner feel good, but, like, that's not what I'm in it for. So, yeah, it is true that I do not have one, and for gay men for whom that's a deal breaker, but, like, for many, 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 they are looking for someone who wants to bottom. They don't really care about the penis, and it's fine. Yeah, and similarly, a good amount of the time, the V word doesn't get involved at all. They literally never see it. It's not a part of it. And then for some of them, it is, and they are really into it. And that's how that goes, you know? So you are trans and gay? This generation has got me completely lost. I mean, you transitioned just to date gay men? I'm so lost. Yeah, I mean, I did not transition to date gay men. I didn't even realize I was gay until, like, I don't know, you guys who've watched my channel for a while might be able to answer this better than me, but, like, maybe a year into my transition, to my medical transition. This comment's funny because it, like, is kind of implying that, like, just to date gay men, like, who would really want to date gay men? Like, I would bet that this is a straight woman or a straight man commenting. Yeah, gay guys are great. And I remember at some point in high school when I was thinking about transition, I was like, yeah, but, like, if I were to transition, I would be dating, like, gay guys and straight women, and of course bisexuals. And I'm like, but am I really into gay guys? Yeah, when society tells you that a gay man is this sort of, like, desexualized, like, Kurt from Glee type, right? Sure, then you're like, am I attracted to that? In real life, yeah, or in gay spaces, right? The gay men I know are not desexualized at all, right? I think that when you sanitize, when you have this sort of, like, sanitized gay man in the media who's like a eunuch, right? Like, that's not hot, but, like, that's not the average gay guy, right? I love that my dating pool is gay men. I am so happy to not have to deal with straight guys anymore. I love them as friends. Happy to not be dating them. Big upgrade in my book, but absolutely not the reason why I transitioned. Just really a happy side effect. And honestly, I have some friends who are straight trans women, and they will tell me, like, so happy I transitioned, like, feeling authentically like myself, but man, dealing with straight guys, not fun. So, I think I lucked out, really. Okay, so everyone so far has been calling me a straight woman. This person has a new take. They say, it seems like you're bisexual with a very bad case of internalized homophobia. Maybe you were more comfortable having sex with another woman, similar to you, because their masculine appearance didn't remind you that you were having sex with another woman. Why would any woman call herself a gay man is beyond me. Gay culture is very sexual and not safe for a woman's health. The testosterone raises a woman's sex drive significantly, and now women are doing things they wouldn't be doing if they were in their normal, healthy female body. Yeah, this one is hilarious. So, what this person is referring to is that in the video that they commented on, I was talking about how hooking up with another gay trans guy was really critical to me realizing that I was gay, because I realized I was into men, and that he was a big part of that. He just was a guy, what can I say? It was very obvious to me. It was so obvious that it, like, made me feel more comfortable with my body, because in some sense my body looks similar to his, and I could tell myself that I wasn't passing, or that I should have X or should have Y. But when I was hooking up with someone else and was like, he is just delightful and so undeniably male, it was hard to, you know, keep those same sort of negative narratives about myself. Definitely was gay sex there. 2 men, I guess. not very obviously not 2 women. I'll admit it, I mean, testosterone definitely has made my sex drive higher, and I did think gay culture is pretty sexual. But, like, it's great. I'm having a great time. I was reading my my old diaries from my high school, and all the time I was just like, oh, like, it would be so great if I, like, one day I'm desirable and I one day get to have sex, and I, like, really would love to just hook up with people. So, like, yeah, I love it. I think it's fantastic, and I'm having a good time. I don't think anything I'm doing is unhealthy, and I think those sort of attitudes absolutely come from what society is telling you. Okay, so then I made a video on detransition back in the day, and I made it pretty clear in the video that I am a trans guy, and I am speaking from the perspective of a trans person, because I had felt like a lot of the videos that other trans people made about the concept of detransition were really, like, I think awful to detransitioned people who I think of as, if they want to be, like, within our community, and people who are going through a lot. So I made it pretty clear the perspective I was coming through. And there were a lot of people that commented and were so, like, people have to listen to detransitioners, like, thank you for getting your voice out there with this video. And it's like, you are not listening to detransitioners if you just didn't watch a second of this video. Because if you watched it, it would be very clear who I am and why I'm making this video. But you so obviously just like the fact that some people don't have transition work out for them. And so you're commenting on those videos because you have an agenda, right? Not because you actually care about the real humans who have gone through a pretty hard thing, which is detransition. Anyway, so I got a lot of comments that sort of were just like, just over their heads. So one person says, man, going through it once must have been a challenge, and then going through it again the other way, I don't know whether to applaud you for your courage or slap you for your stupidity. Yeah, I didn't detransition, so, like, you should do neither, because you're just wrong. Because nature wins. Yeah. It didn't. I'm still injecting myself with testosterone once a week in my thigh and loving every second of it. Thank you for being brave enough to post about this. More people need to tell their stories, or doctors will continue to take advantage of people. Yeah. I absolutely am, like, I totally think that detransitioners should talk about their stories, even the messy ones, even the complicated ones. You can totally, again, hear my whole spiel if you check out that video, but I'm not one of those people. I was merely talking about the fact that, doesn't matter, you can watch the video. Says, honestly, can't tell if this person is a boy or a girl, which I feel is their favorite part in their message. If this person began life as a male and transitioned to female, then detransitioned back to male, well, I could believe that. But if they began life as a female and transitioned to male and then detransitioned back to female, well, I could believe that about this individual too. It confuses me even to venture a guess which gender they began as and which gender they finished as, and I would have to call this person non-binary and gender fluid. That was kind of an endearing comment, but one I find funny. This one, hilarious. Don't give in to the bullying and pressure of the LGBT community. Glad you were honest with yourself. Just because you're feminine sometimes doesn't mean it relates to your biology. This person believes that I am a detransitioned, like, trans woman who is now living as male, and is like, just because you're feminine doesn't mean you're not a guy, which is really funny because I am a guy, I just happen to be trans. So they have totally read me wrong. And then a lot of these comments, I get comments that are sort of like, you're making a terrible mistake, or you're throwing your life away. And again, those are like comments that, like, if you tell the average person in their mid-20s, like, you're wasting your life away and you're gonna amount to nothing, that shit will hurt. Like, the average person in their mid-20s, still figuring their life out. And that happens whether you're cis, whether you're trans. It's just hard to be in your mid-20s. The reality of it is I have my life figured out. And again, it's not something I want to flaunt all over the place, because I think that it's totally fine if you're still figuring things out. The reality of it is I am halfway through a PhD. I'm going to become an economist. It is a very stable career path with like 99% employment that will have me enough money to be a single earner for my household, live really where I want, and study something that I wake up every day absolutely delighted, absolutely joyful to think about. I am totally living my dream. I honestly can't believe it. I've wanted this for years. It's fantastic. So they don't know anything about me. They have no idea that this is the world I wake up to, which is that, like, I am, like, deliriously happy. So instead, they say things like this. If you had spent all that time and thought into getting a PhD in nuclear physics today, you would be a very exceptional person, instead of somebody who lost the best years of his life in this bullshit. So I think this person thinks I'm a detransitioned trans woman, maybe? I'm not really sure what this person thinks about me, but the reality of it is I am getting a PhD. And I think I am a pretty exceptional person, and I am happy to have spent the best years of my life transitioning and surrounded by lovely trans and queer people and just, like, delighted and feeling like I have a community. What a great way to spend your 20s. I think when I'm like 40 or 50, will look back so fondly on the many, many evenings I have spent crowded into some tiny little apartment where we're all drinking like cans of hard cider and gossiping. And like, it's the best. I love queer people. I love this life. No regrets, really. And at the same time, I've got a pretty great career ahead of me too, so like, I don't know anything. Oh god, not another young woman medicalizing her way through her teens and 20s. I guess I am medicalizing myself. I think about that, you know, like, wouldn't it be cool if, like, my body made testosterone on its own, but, like, you know, sometimes we have to take medicine to do the things that we want and we need with our bodies. I also have taken thyroid medicine because I had Hashimoto's thyroiditis, where my thyroid gland was not working well, and I was medicalizing my way through my youth too, man. So like, I've been medicalizing out the wazoo, really. Sure, it would be cool if I could live my amazing trans experience and be so thrilled and so happy in my body without having to do a single medical thing, but like, sometimes life deals us a set of cards, and we gotta work with them, and if doing a shot once a week and getting my levels checked is what it takes for me to have this life, absolutely worth it to me. So this final comment is, I don't think it's not transphobic. It's not transphobic. It's just hilarious to me. This person says, "This guy is full of crap. The people who comment on here act as if he is some wise yogi. I see him as just another self-absorbed Gen Z. He loves showing all his photos and endlessly talking about himself. How boring. Get out and do something worthwhile. Help the homeless. Reach beyond yourself." It's my YouTube channel. Of course I'm talking about myself. What do you think this is for? This is not like a documentary channel or like math content. This is like Arthur's life. If you're clicking on a channel called Arthur Rockwell, which is, I think I even have my description as like trans guy talking about trans things, something like this. Yeah, you're gonna hear a lot about me. I self-purportedly in my intro video was like, I want to be able to use this as like a diary style thing, and yes, I'm talking a lot about me. That's fine if it's not your cup of tea, you know? I like to think that what I'm doing is pretty worthwhile. I actually think about this sometimes where like, I'm so excited to have an impact as an economist, but the time it takes for me to have an impact is pretty long. So today I did a Zoom call where 8th graders were asking me about economics and about my research, and one of them says, how does your research impact the government? And I said, right now, not at all, but in the future, hopefully a lot. And that's true, right? Like, I'm a grad student, I write papers, but like, yeah, the Treasury Department is not gonna look at my papers right now. They just won't. The Fed, they don't care. Eventually, they might. But eventually is in like, I don't know, 10 years. Maybe like 5 if I'm a superstar, maybe 20 is more realistic, maybe not at all is possible, but I can hope. But with my YouTube channel, it's pretty cool because I will get comments with people that are like, I'm so scared and I wanted to feel less alone and your videos really spoke to me and comforted me. And I think this YouTube channel is one of the few places where I feel like I actually have like an immediate impact, where I feel like I upload this video and like immediately people see me, like on the order of a few thousand people see me, which is like a small number in terms of like YouTube things, but like a big number in terms of like when I give lectures, it's like 40 people, you know, not 1,000 people. So I don't know, I appreciate that, and it's not, you know, at the end of the day, it is a YouTube channel where I talk about myself, so it's not like I'm gonna claim I am some yogi, but yogi, oh man, I should know how to say that. I know what it means, I swear. But yeah, I'm not gonna claim I'm some wise guru, but I like to think that these things help people and affect people. Unless you all are lying in the comments, I know it's true for at least some of you. I hope that this video was entertaining. I am generally conflicted about what to do about hate comments, so I'll say that. And I would also love to hear your guys' opinions about this in the comment section. These were actually comments that I had left up. I go back and forth about whether I want to remove people from the channel or block people from the channel or delete comments by people who are like outright transphobic. I go back and forth because they don't affect me at all, the comments. I just find them funny. I really don't care, and I principally am very pro like free speech, no censorship, yada yada. And so I'm like, yeah, leave them up. They're silly, and I can show they're silly by not caring at all. But the reality of it is, like, as I said, these comments here, what they're saying is like, trans men are not men. You will not be successful dating because trans is gross and you're throwing your life away. And as I said, I'm obviously a man. Gay men and bisexual men want to sleep with me. I am not lacking in sexual or romantic partners, and I have a really clear life path. But that is not true for every person here, right? And for a lot of people, these worries are super, super real, and these mean comments, like, bring them down. And so I don't want my viewers to feel hurt or attacked by comments that are, like, attacking me, you know? Like, I can handle it. I don't care. But, like, if you are someone who is early in your transition, you don't know what it's going to be like to be here. It's great to be here, but you don't know that. And so I don't want someone mean to, like, take the wind out of your sails, you know? So what I've done at the moment is, like, I'll remove some of the more intense comments, and then if anyone is ever responding to, like, one of my viewers, so, like, one of my viewers, say, comments like, I love this video, I'm so excited to start testosterone, and then someone responds like, don't start it, it will ruin your body, then I will, like, delete that comment and block that person from the channel. But I go back and forth about people who are truly just attacking me, so I would be curious what your guys' opinion is. Are you okay if I leave the comments up? Do you prefer that I remove them? What do you think? Let me know. But yeah, so this is the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you stick around as a subscriber.